and girls, welcome back to another Jack Wolf Knives drop. I'm super excited about this one because now we are seeing something wildly new, completely different for Jack Wolf Knives. When you think of Jack Wolf Knives, you think of this sound. And then later on, you were made to think of this sound as they made their way into their first locking knives from their heritage of slip joints. Then last month, they surprised us all with their first true full manual folding knife. So the one thing that you don't think of when you think Jack Wolf Knives is this sound. Yeah, that's right. That's Flipper. And that's exactly where Benjamin took the brand. No, not the horny sea mammal, an actual flipper knife. So you're thinking, well, how is that really a big departure from their standard locking knife? Because this is one of those awful front flippers. Now, I say awful front flipper because I can't stand front flippers. I'm not saying this is awful because somehow Jack Wolf Knives did it in a way that I'm able to flip much more easily than most other front flippers. But yet I still prefer to flick off of the groove back there. So while this was their first foray into locking folding knives, coming from, again, their heritage of amazing slip joints, this one kind of rocked everybody's world when it came out. And I got to tell you, I've been enjoying the hell out of mine. But now it's time for something quite a bit different. The Scuffle. Now, this is another collaboration. So it falls under the JW Collab editions. Because this knife was designed by Nick Rogers of Nitch Designs. There's your pog. Inside, of course, will also be stickers. And of course, the ever-present microfiber cloth. So, how is this different from their standard folders? It's not just the flipper tab, and I'm pretty sure that's what people expected. Oh, well, if they ever make a flipper, that's going to be the big difference. It's going to be a flipper, and that's it. Well, yeah, that is a huge difference, but there's so much more. Starting Friday, October 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern, you're going to get a chance to get one of these for yourself through any of the authorized dealers. The Scuffle takes its inspiration from the legendary fighting Bowie knives of the Old West. Take a look at that incredible blade profile, which has been reimagined into a modern folding format. The design not only carries historical influence, but also introduces several exciting firsts for Jack Wolf Knives. For the first time, the brand has incorporated a traditional flipper mechanism, a separate pivot collar, a captured pivot system, and internal hardware with only the one exposed screw besides the pivot, weight relief pockets inside, which believe me, you're going to need because They are using staggeringly thick 3.8 millimeter blade stock and crazy thick titanium. Let's take a good look at the thickness of the titanium in comparison to the standard slip joints. That's almost twice the knife right there. And when put up next to their standard locking knife, also nearly twice the knife. And man, that's not even close. So this is the most substantial knife that Jack Wolf Knives has ever released. She is a beefy, big booty girl. But a lot of what you're going to appreciate with this one really is going to be in the details. This fuller, I love the way that it runs off the blade. This is something that very few companies do, and I think it is a brilliant aesthetic choice. It's something that I did on my tibia model. I didn't just end it and put a nice little rounded end on the slot. I wanted it to go off the blade because it gives you a much more dramatic look to it. And then when they add this swedge right here, it makes it even more wicked. Now, this particular variation in the full titanium frame lock is going to have a wonderfully milled frame. And you can see that very fine micro milling here. Nice anodization here on the pivot collars. Then we have the backspacer, big, thick, chunky backspacer with the jimping on there. And you'll notice there is a wide chamfer that goes all the way around the frames to allow this to be as comfortable in the hand as possible with no hot spots. Notice also the accordion style lock bar relief cut. Nothing about this knife screams, this is our first time doing this. It's done really, really wonderfully. Now, putting Jack Wolf Knives aside, because you guys know I am a big fan of Jack Wolf Knives, let's talk about this as a standalone model, as a flipper. Like it's a flipper made by any other brand that produces flippers all the time. It's just done right. First off, of course, the blade centering is perfect. The lock bar tension, also perfect. It allows you to do a little bit of a drop in more of a hydraulic manner. It's not where it just drops like a guillotine. It's a nice, slow, controlled drop. And it gives you the perfect detent. The flipping action is among some of the best. It's not quite Shirogorov, I'm sorry, but that's quite a lofty goal anyway. But you could put this up against almost any other high quality flipper. $300, $400, $500, $600, $700. And this is going to hold its own. I'm actually really glad they went with the thicker blade stock, because that extra weight really aids in that flipping. So you've got the perfect detent on here, and you've got a nice, smooth bearing pivot action, and that lockup. It just sounds incredible. Listen to this. That solid ka-chunk. And look at that beautifully sculpted titanium pocket clip. Really, really attractive shape and design. And I love this little section here. I know it's a tiny little thing, And for most people, they're not going to care. But they have eliminated a corner off of this, which will allow this to be much more comfortable in the hand. And it's even going to feel better when it's in your pocket. Any time of the day where your hand may go across the pocket, there's no harsh corner there. Now, with all the other great things about this knife, the S90V blade and the incredible hollow grind and the action and everything else, you'd think that there'd be a lot more to talk about. And there is. But this one little detail, there's something about it that really jumped out at me. It's beautiful in the design, and it's really wonderful in the execution.
Please like and subscribe.
So let's talk about what you've got here. Your close length is 4.43 inches, blade length of 3.52 inches. So yeah, man, you got a 3.5-inch blade here. This is one of the largest pocket knives the Jack Wolf has created. Your blade steel is a hollow ground Crucible S90V steel clip point or buoy. And it really is, it's both. I mean, a buoy is a clip point. The weight is about 3.5 ounces, which is on the heavy side for a Jack Wolf, but on the light side for almost any 3.5-inch folder that you're going to find out there. Now, you're going to have options like this in the solid titanium frame lock, and then you're going to have options in the S-bolstered versions that have really incredible inlays. And when you take a look at those, you realize you've got a hard choice to make. And again, that choice is going to be made on Friday, October 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite of the whole bunch is the Kirinite Black Ice. And that is not a dark matter carbon fiber. That Kirinite Black Ice is a highly reflective black that looks so expensive and so exotic. It looks like you opened the engine compartment on a McLaren or a Lamborghini. It looks so rich and expensive and shiny and glossy and beautiful and exotic. And this is the first time I could say, you've got an exotic look in a Jack Wolf knife. That's pretty damn cool. So there's so many firsts here. And that's why I find it personally exciting. And I can't imagine how excited Ben must have been counting the days up until the point where he was able to start telling people about this knife. It's very, very, very cool. So now you have your amazing slip joints, which I really have to admit, after so many releases of standard folders, I really want to see Ben get back to the damn slip joints. I miss the slip joint drops. But you've got your accessory knife, your secondary knife, that hopefully is always on you. That's a Jack Wolf. And now you have your primary folder. This could be your everyday EDC. Because there are still people out there that are just never going to get into slip joints. And that's why he's doing this. Because he wants to bring the love of knives that he has, the passion that he has, to every type of collector. And if he's not going to change your mind on slip joints, he's going to find his way into your pants with a flipper. And it's so damn well done. So for his very first effort, I got to tell you, It's not like I would have expected any less, but I'm so happy that it came out so good. And I didn't even know it was coming. I've been friends with Ben now for a couple of years, and we chat every now and then, and we have our laughs and talk about upcoming knives and designs and cool ideas of what he wants to do and things like that. I didn't see this coming. So it was a complete surprise to me. I was so glad to see it. I'm so glad to see all of the options as well, because there is something for absolutely every. My God, he even brought back the Micarta. Oh, I can't stand Micarta. But he's got something for absolutely everybody. He's got the showier, prettier, fancier pocket jewelry knives. And then he's got the tougher, more basic. It's not a plain Jane because it's got the beautiful micro milling and the bead blasting, but he's got the more tough, serious, maybe working knife. And then he's got the micarta for the people that still like micarta. The different carbons that are being used, and the fact that they did the S bolster, I absolutely love. And it's going to show more of the precision that they're capable of. Because while I haven't handled one of the bolstered variations yet, which I plan to, because I'm actually going to do my best to get a black ice. And if I can't, I'm going to try trading this one for a black ice. I want that damn black ice. But until then, I can only guess. But judging by the way all of the other Jack Wolf knives are made, that bolster is seamless, and the material, the fitting of the materials together is going to be seamless. It's going to be amazing. So if you're in the market for a knife, you absolutely have to try a Scuffle. If you're not in the market for a knife, hey, wake up. Christmas is right around the corner. This is your Christmas gift to yourself. Ho, ho, ho. I'm not one that's usually coming out here and telling you, do it, do it, do it, buy it, buy it, buy it. But if you've ever been curious about Jack Wolf knives and you like how this looks, and honestly, there are very few folding Bowie knives out there, I think this is one of those knives that you need to experience for yourself. So I would definitely tell all of my friends, if a friend came to me and said, hey, what would you buy right now in this price range? I would tell them it's a no-brainer. Get a Scuffle. Well, Jack Wolf knives, I mean, they're really always just strictly influenced off of classic slip joints. And I'm not really a classic kind of guy. I want something modern and kind of mean looking. And oh yeah, so you want a Scuffle. Well, aren't they kind of thin and delicate feeling because they're made to be gentlemen's knives? I want something beefier and hefty and chunky and it feels good in my hand. Okay, then you want a Scuffle. Well, I don't want a front flipper because it's just not my kind of thing. I want to have something that I can manually open, or preferably a flipper. Oh, okay, then you want a Scuffle. You see what I'm saying? It really is the kind of knife that will make everyone happy. So anyway, I'm going to end it with that. I'm excited. I hope you can feel that. I hope you're excited. And I really, truly, absolutely want to hear from everybody that's watching this video that gets one of these. When it arrives, please remember to come back to my video and comment exactly how you felt when you first opened it. What your thoughts are on the quality of the knife, the fit and finish, the balance, the feel in the hand, the beauty of that edge, because Jack Wolf is really good about their laser sharp blades. Tell everybody how you feel. Let them know. Because I know that I'm not alone in being in love with this new knife. Anyway, I'm out of here for now. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'll see you on the next video.